Hey, welcome or welcome back. It is, as always, good to see you today. It is Monday here in my world. It is rainy. It is the week of Thanksgiving here in the US. I am off work. I do need to sign in and send an email, though. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be reacting to a reaction, which, as you can see in the title, it is to Shakara Transformations and her video about Beatrice Caruso. So, I did watch this video from Shakara, or Ilona, as her name is, Ilona. I'll probably flip between Shakara and Ilona while I'm recording. But I watched the video and I had many thoughts. So I decided to go ahead and just make a video. I'll give my final overall thoughts at the end, but let's go ahead and get into it. So, before we get into it, so Alona is a bodybuilder and health and fitness coach, as she always starts her videos out by saying, which puts her in a unique position to look at people's workouts and diets and what they're eating. And she's very critical, in my opinion. But I mean, she's obviously in just incredible shape. She's getting ready to go to a show. I think she's a few days out here in this video. And I think dieting for 40 weeks, as she says, I think it makes her a little cranky. She seems very irritable and just overly critical in this video. And you'll see what I mean, maybe. But I did skip through her intro here. And so we're going to jump into when she starts talking about B and the video.
Of weight loss journeys, we are going to be looking at Beatrice Caruso. I know, it's a controversial topic because Beatrice is a very liked person. And I too like Bea. I am subscribed and I used to be quite a fan of her. Actually, I liked her honest approach. But I'm going to have to be honest. She started off in the beginning of the year, she did say she wanted to focus on weight loss, she wanted to be held accountable, etc, etc, etc. And I feel like Beatrice is kind of like a bit like April Lauren. She's almost about her mental health. Yes, she seeks help for her mental health, etc. But Beatrice doesn't work. Her job is YouTube. She uploads maybe like one video a week, if even that. She will go AWOL sometimes for weeks on end without really notifying her audience, which is kind of rude, in my opinion. I don't like it when people just, take their audience for granted like that.
So, a lot to unpack there for the beginning here. She does say that she is a fan of B. I'm a fan of B. I watch all of B's videos. I'm a few videos behind right now. Just because I've been busy. So she compares B to April Lauren, and I have to disagree. April Lauren doesn't give honest information to her viewers. She portrays things differently than what it seems. Whereas B, whenever B is off track or not exercising, she lets people know. And she also is like, hey, this is my weight. I think I've gained a few pounds, and here's why. Whereas April Lauren just acts like everything is rosy and sunshine and fluffy bunnies, and it's not. I also think, unless I'm getting my years confused, I believe it was earlier this year whenever B had the major bout with anxiety. So she did start the year off saying she was going to focus on weight loss, but then she had like months of just horrible anxiety where she would just have massive panic attacks. She moved back in with her mom for a while she was trying to get through this anxiety. And she also has a boyfriend now that moved in with her. So her life has changed quite a bit from the beginning of the year. And things can happen that change your original goals. My goal was also to lose weight at the beginning of this year. I've made no progress this year. I'm in the same boat. But except I didn't have massive anxiety attacks. I've also been struggling a bit with, the, as Amberlynn would say, my mentals. And as far as like B not working, Correct. She doesn't work. Her job is YouTube. But a little bit different from April Lauren and Amber Lynn, if we're comparing these people that don't have jobs outside of YouTube. B does show us a lot of things she does outside of just losing weight and recording. She does things with her mom and her family. She goes to water aerobics with her grandma, mom, and aunt. She goes on morning walks with her mom. So she's doing these things outside of just eating chicken and rice and broccoli and working out, 3 times a day. And she does struggle with other things. And she does tell us about those things. So B is very transparent in her journey and what she's going through and why she is where she is. Um, whereas April Lauren, like I said, shows us that, oh, I'm doing all these workouts. I what she do? She's um brain work. She instructs a yoga course and things. I don't know if she does that anymore since she's in Hawaii, but April Lauren doesn't portray that. Amber Lynn just doesn't do anything other than record things and go out and do like bingo with her mom. So that's, in my opinion, that's the difference between these creators whose jobs are YouTube. Which, hey, Beatrice does show us the things she eats, shows us what she's making, shows us when she works out. So yeah.
So her job is to lose weight, basically. She doesn't really do anything else besides uploading videos here and there, and she seems to only upload whenever she does a sponsorship.
Oh, I will say, as far as I do agree that it would be nice if B would tell us, hey, I'm having a rough week, I'm taking a week off, taking a couple of weeks off. She might do that on Instagram. I can't recall, but I do like it when creators that I follow and creators that have a big following, if they are going to be taking a break, that they let people know. I try to let people know, and I have a very, very tiny channel, but I will try to post in my community tab, be like, hey, I'm really busy with work right now. I'm not going to get to any videos, or I'm traveling for work this week. I'm not going to get a chance to record and upload more than likely. So, just because there are a couple of people that do follow me pretty regularly that, might wonder, where's Libby? And usually I'm somewhere for work. But yeah.
Now, I haven't checked in with her for a while, so for all I know, for the last couple of months that I haven't looked at her, she's lost a lot of weight. But she's
So here's the thing also. She hasn't checked in with B for a couple of months. So she doesn't know what's been going on in B's life the last couple of months. So her take on this one video is going to be skewed because she doesn't know what's been happening.
saying getting my groove back, weight loss, health, and fitness. So it looks like she hasn't really made any progress. And like, let's be real, she's been doing this kind of content for several years now, and really she's not made any progress, or very little.
I don't think we can only count progress as physical or weight loss. She's gotten a lot stronger from steadily working out. She's gotten better mentally. She's worked on her binge eating disorder, and she's a lot happier now. So I think just saying she's made no progress. When you're just looking at one factor and that being weight loss, yeah, sure. But I think looking at B as a whole, she's made a lot of progress.
So just because she's good at editing, she has a nice personality, she puts herself out there in a more positive manner, she's more honest, she's not really putting in the work, is she?
But how do you know that? How do you know she's not putting in the work?
And that's kind of, and the more I watch of her content, the more I feel like she just basically does videos for sponsorships.
B does have sponsorships, and since she does only upload like once a week, sometimes a few more, a lot of her videos are sponsored because of her upload schedule. And they're usually sponsored by either, I think, ThreadUp or usually Green Chef.
And to make a quick buck, she gets very good views. Like I said, she doesn't have a full-time job. She doesn't really do anything else. So she should be a lot more successful at weight loss than what she is. She's in a very privileged position to do.
I agree. She is in a very privileged position to be able to do YouTube as her job and make money and be successful. I do agree with that. People that have YouTube as a job, I think, are very privileged.
She does. So weight loss should kind of be her priority, basically. But let's get into the video. For all I know,
her priority has been, for the last little bit, has been her mental health, and she has been trying this year to get back into making weight loss her priority, but things come up.
she's lost 50 pounds, and I'm talking shit. Hey, Rose.
Well, you're talking shit regardless. Oh.
But I don't think she's made much progress at all. I think she's probably pretty much the same weight that she has been this entire year. Which makes me wonder, like, you know, I know mental health is a thing. Obviously, everybody that's obese has mental health problems. But if she's been working with a psychologist, psychiatrist, or whatever, therapist, as well as she gets all of these meal plan services, etc., 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 why is there not more results? You know, at some point, it doesn't really matter how nice you are or how great
because shit happens.
Your content is edited. The reality is that, are you really trying? Are you really trying? I don't know.
The reality is things come up. Things happen in life that can put you off track. And B is very honest about those things when they do come up.
Find out, I guess. So yeah, let's see if she really is trying or not.
I woke up this morning with a little bit of pep in my step.
Stop it, please. From the beginning, it doesn't look like she has lost much weight at all. Looking at her, 20-30 pounds is very visible on most people.
Some wiggle in my walk. Some juice in my caboose. That one's nasty. Let's not use that one. The timing happens to be just before a string of holidays known for overindulgence and notorious for knocking me off track. But I don't know why. A switch has flipped from apathetic to hopeful, and we are gonna duct tape that motherfucker to the wall so it doesn't go back to the apathy, because it is high time that I get my groove back. Now you may be wondering to yourself, B, why are you sitting here in your skivvies coming at us with that much energy right now? Well, it's because I have to take some before pictures, measure my giblets, and weigh in. All at the expense of Stevie, who's sleeping in at the weekend, but the only blank wall in the house happens to be in the bedroom. That has decent lighting anyway, so we're all gonna have to make some sacrifices.
So she hasn't basically been doing any weight loss stuff for months, is what she's saying, right?
So, since Yukara hasn't been watching B's content, prior to this video, she had she hadn't been exercising for a couple of months, and then she had some plantar fasciitis issues and couldn't put weight on her heel, and then she hurt her back. So she wasn't working out. She started working out again. This is a few videos ago for B's videos. She did some workouts, got injured, and then didn't work out for a couple of weeks. So she's working on getting back into working out again after the injuries.
But why not though? It's not like she has anything else to do. She doesn't have a job.
It's today, but it's
because shit happens.
It's like 9:30, so he should be fine. I am a little bit apprehensive to waste this momentum because if you don't get going, it kind of just doesn't go, you know? So I want to get that baseline data in, haven't done that in a long time, don't really know where I'm at, but it'll just be nice to see like where we're starting, and I like seeing that change in various forms. It just gives you that little hit of dopamine, you know what I mean? Stevie, I don't know if you heard me talking to myself in the other room, but I've come to disturb your slumber.
So Steve is her boyfriend that moved in with her a couple of months ago.
Taking pictures of myself in my underwear. He glaring at me. Cover your eyes, I need to open the windows for some lighting. Cover your little peepers. I'm sorry. Okay, we gotta settle this up.
Come here, little buddy. Aw, Chetty. Chetty is so sweet.
So she has literally lost no weight whatsoever, pretty much, from the last time I've seen her.
Your friend? Here you go. Charles. Never did this in front of another person before. Okay, is it recording?
I really should take measurements, but I haven't, because even if you don't see progress on the scale, you could see progress in the measurements. And B's actually going to bring that up as well.
No, I do believe in measuring yourself because it's very easy to get fixated on the scale weight, which is not always indicative of what's going on, especially if you're weight training. Sometimes the weight on the scale might not change an awful lot, but you're changing body composition. Obviously, at some point, especially when you're obese, the scale weight will go down. But there could be periods where you're kind of stagnating, and if you're measuring yourself, at least you can see that if you're losing size, but the weight stays the same, you're losing fat, and that is what matters. So focus on fat loss and not on a scale weight loss. Well, both should matter, but fat loss is more important, and that's measurable through, measuring.
I'm not really sure about this measurement, which is shoulders. I'm doing several points on my belly because that's like my biggest problem area. So I'm doing like under the bust, natural waist.
Yeah, it's just, she's kind of like squeezing. She's squeezing that in too much. Hold on.
Belly button, fattest part of the belly.
Look, she's squeezing that in weight. Like, you're not supposed to squeeze it inside.
And then butt, just so you know. And I don't think that I do measurements like the way that you're supposed to, but if you're just consistent and do what works for you, then it's fine.
Yeah, this is true. So normally speaking, for measurements, I don't do it because like I'm quite low body fat, so I don't need to. But for the waist, they recommend that what you would do is like you stand up and you tilt to the side, and where the body pivots, you measure there. So around here, just above the belly button. I would say.
Goodness.
Measure here.
Careful there, Alona.
Here, across the hips, and measure across the widest part of the glute, and also the widest part of the inside thigh. Sorry, my pants are dirty from tanning. And then obviously you can do like a bicep flex as well, like measure the bicep. Those are pretty good points of measurement. But for women, we tend to usually carry most of our fat in the stomach, so I will do.
I'm very much a pair. Well, most of my weight's in my lower body, my ass, hips, and thighs. It's unfortunate.
Above the belly button, maybe if across the hips, and across the widest part of the glute, and the thickest part of the thigh.
Okay, it's the afternoon now. Got a little bit caught up helping my mom and stepdad move a freezer from my grandma's house to their house, and the flow got disrupted. But here we are in the garage.
But even like moving that is physical activity and exercise, helping move and lift a freezer. And it's something outside of her day. It's something that takes time away from, as Alona would say, all she has to do is lose weight and work out. Well, she has things to do outside of those things.
Gym. I am about to start a co-pilot workout. I have not gone to one in a bit.
Don't tell me she's doing this co-pilot shit as well. For real. Like, I do feel like, I'm sorry, but this is becoming, like, she really just uploads for fucking ads now as well, isn't it?
She's not sponsored by Co-Pilot right now. She has been before. And if Alona has watched B's content, she would know that B's been doing Co-Pilot for a while now.
For sponsorship. There's nothing wrong with it. I would love to have some sponsors too, don't get me wrong. Pay me an extra $500 to do a video. Why not? I understand it. But clearly these co-pilot workouts are not working, are they? She's been doing them, Anna's been doing them, all of these obese weight loss channels.
But how do you know they're not working? She has gotten stronger. You can see the progress.
Have been doing them, and none of them are making any fucking progress in terms of either their form, their strength, or their physical development. So co-pilot, clearly, it's not as good as what it seems, because why are these people not changing? I mean, obviously their diet isn't great, but yeah, from what I've seen from co-pilot, it's kind of like maybe okay to get started, but really, if you are really dedicated to success, you need to have a proper workout plan. Ideally, you need to be working out in a gym. There needs to be resistance, and also it's not like her or Anna can't afford to work with an actual personal trainer.
So co-pilot is a personal trainer. She has a personal trainer named Grace on the other side in the co-pilot app that works for co-pilot. So she is working with a personal trainer. So I don't know if Alona doesn't know exactly what Copilot is, but it pairs you with a personal trainer. And B is better at home, not in a gym. She works out better at home by herself because going to the gym makes her a little anxious. But there is a personal trainer working with B with the Copilot app. It's not just you plug in some numbers into the app and it's like, oh, do these exercises. She has a person giving her a workout plan.
I think conditioning coach, somebody that does that for a living. A Copilot app, why?
It is an app, but she's working with a personal trainer named Grace.
Why? If you're really like, let's be real. These people make a lot of fucking money doing YouTube and other social media. Why not spend a few $100 a month on a personal trainer to have actual workout sessions with, as well as somebody that like does meal planning for you? They can easily do that and be successful, but no. Instead, we'll do videos and pretend to work on our weight loss.
Because of the back injury, but I came in here and I had forgot that I had gotten a new piece of gym equipment before my back went out. And the remnants of that experience are still here. So I'm gonna have to take this box out of there, but also I'll show you like the new thing that I got. Okay.
It's like an app thing and a glute ham raise.
So this thing is awesome because, hold on, let me get my ass in here. So this machine is called a Teeter Dexy, and basically you can just
Teeter Dexy.
It's kind of like a milder version of an inversion table. Instead of like flipping all the way upside down.
Inversion tables are very good, by the way. Like I used to have one, and they are very good for decompressing the spine.
You're just like falling over at the hip point, like this, and like feeling your back. I can't talk upside down. It's just like decompressing your spine. But also, what I like about this is you can do, I think I need to like adjust it better to where it like fits my body, but like these things. Back extension? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a hyperextension. Depending on how you do it, you can focus your glutes, your lower back, or your hamstrings.
I don't know. I'm sure Grace, who's my co-pilot coach, will have like all kinds of different things.
Yeah, so there, she just mentioned her co-pilot coach, Grace. She has a personal trainer on the other side of the app.
That will be available on here. Like, that's also the good thing, is anytime I upgrade my gym equipment or like have less equipment available, I just let her know my situation and she makes the workout for me. So I don't even gotta really think about it, and she helps with like proper form and whatever else.
Yeah, we've seen the proper form with Anna. They do a very good job of that. The form.
That's a little snarky. I mean, they can help you, but they're not physically there to correct your form. So if the person isn't able to take the feedback properly and adjust their form, or they might get back into their bad habits of bad form, then the co-pilot coach only knows how their form is if the person records the workout and gives it to the coach. So you can't really blame the coach for that. And I'm not sure who Anna is. Is that Glitter and Lasers? I haven't watched her content. So, and sometimes it's hard to do proper form when you are really overweight. But she has helped B with her squats. So that I think her knee was hurting or something, and she helped her with her form on that.
Is outstanding.
So good job, co-pilot, and being you. But for now, let's move this thing out of the way and we'll actually do a co-pilot workout.
It says walk high incline. This is not an incline or a high incline at all. And please, if you walk on an incline, if you're that person, I'm that person, I walk on inclines. But if you can't walk on an incline without holding on, drop the incline and drop your speed.
I like to hang on to the bar.
If you're walking at a 15% incline...
I know hanging on to the bar kind of negates the whole engaging your legs and core because you're using your hands to stabilize and keep yourself going. I'm bad at doing that.
and you're going very fast, but you're holding on to the thing, it literally defeats the whole point of creating an incline. Drop the incline, drop the speed. Use your actual force in your legs, the muscles in your legs to propel yourself forward. If you're just hanging, you are basically like negating gravity. So if you're going to do incline walking, don't hold on to the handles. I mean, like, look, the thing is that how long has Beatrice has been doing home workouts, etc., for quite some time now. A 20-pound dumbbell, when you're trying to really progress and build muscle and make changes for 15 reps, it's not going to do anything.
But B has also not been working out lately because of her injuries, and she did hurt her back. So she might be taking a bit lighter because she did hurt her back. And if Alona had actually watched her videos before this one, she would know that. And also, since she hasn't been working out a lot, she might be going back a little bit so that she doesn't strain herself while trying to build her strength back up again.
You need to start somewhere, and when you're completely new, I get it, but she's been doing this for years now. 10-pound dumbbells is going to do fuck all. Like, for real, for real. You need some more resistance. She's got a barbell there. Why is she not doing sumo deadlifts? She can easily, like, she's big enough and strong enough to easily do sumo deadlifts with, like, get some small Olympic plates with, like, 40 kilos, which is, like, what, 80 pounds. 20 pounds is, like, pointless. Also, the form is not very good. She's leaning forward too much. And what I don't like about this co-pilot, it's all kind of all over. It's
She's not a bodybuilder. She's not going to focus on, oh, today's arm day, today's leg day. She's going to do an overall full body workout probably every day and switch up the different exercises she does.
It's circuit training, it's all time based.
Switch coffee
It's
cups.
not like, oh, we're training shoulders today, or we're doing push, we're doing pull, we're doing legs. No, it's kind of like a bit of everything. And I'm not a big fan of training like that, especially in terms of like, well,
and that's your preference. That's how you want to work out. This is how B chooses to work out.
Bodybuilding. And I mean, in terms of changing body composition, you don't have to be on stage to be a bodybuilder. Anybody that's in the gym training is a bodybuilder, in my opinion.
It's a very loose definition, but sure.
So this workout was what, some sit-ups and some sumo squats. Great workout. This lasted what, a whole 15 minutes? Yeah, this is. I'm not gonna say it's pointless because some workout is better than none, but if you just do some sit-ups and crunches and like some bodyweight squats, or well, pretty much bodyweight squats, it's not really gonna do anything, is it?
Sorry, that's a horrible screen to pause on. I apologize, Alona. This seems very condescending to me. It makes it sound like, well, if you're not going to be going to the gym and lifting heavy like I do every day, then it's pointless. Why even do anything? Any kind of movement or any kind of workout is amazing. Do it. If you can only work out for 15 minutes a day, then do something like she's doing that's a circuit workout that gets you moving, gets lots of different movements in, and is the workout that you're able to squeeze in. I don't like this attitude of how it seems she's coming across to me as, if you can't go to the gym and work out for 2 hours each day and focus on a single body part each day, then it seems to just not be worth it. Now, she does contradict that and say, well, if this is what you can do, then do it. But it just strikes me as very condescending that if you aren't like her and you go to the gym every single day for 2 hours, 3 hours every time you go, then what are you doing? You're not really putting in the effort. It's how that kind of comes across. And this can make, I mean, like, if, and I do watch her content, but not all the time, because there are some people that she reacts to that I just don't watch. But it would make me feel like crap, like, well, all I can squeeze in is a 15 or 20 minute workout each day. Why should I even bother? Why is it even worth it if it's not going to do anything?
Feels good to sweat. Feels good to be back in it. I was struggling. I don't know if it's just because I haven't done anything other than like walking. because of the back injury, or the fact that I ate before I worked out, which I don't normally do because it makes me feel bogged down and slow and just like I'm going to throw up. I was definitely struggling, but I feel good now.
It also
Yes.
depends on what you eat. If you're having a big meal, then yeah, it's going to slow you down. But if you eat like an easy digestible carb, or you're just eating some light protein, you should be fine to work out, to eat before you work out. But I normally eat about 45 minutes to an hour before I work out. Ideally, cream of rice is the way to go. But it digests it very easily.
Of course it is.
Now, so that's all that matters. All right, I guess I'm finally ready to shower and get ready for the day, even though it's afternoon. My Instacart order just came. I got a metric shit ton of fruit and veg.
It's a lot of fruits and
So,
vegetables.
like, all great, perfect. This is the kind of stuff I want to see from a food shopping haul. All whole foods, a variety of colors, lean proteins, etc. Now, if she's eating like this, why the fuck is she not losing weight? I know I'm being a bit snarky.
You
I'm 1
think?
week out from a show, and I have been dieting for 40 weeks, and I have been hungry a lot. So my point is,
Well, good for you. Not everybody can eat like that.
it's like she's got the money, the resources to spend all this money on all of this lovely fresh produce. Why is she not making progress in her weight loss? What else is she eating? Clearly, a lot of other shit that she shouldn't.
We don't know that. You can still overeat on whole foods and things. But she does show us that, hey, she'll make meals that sometimes aren't as nutritious. She does go out to eat with her family.
And I am going to take the time to do something that I call mild meal prep. Now, isn't a new concept. Someone has probably come up with it before, but the idea is not to like fully meal prep. It's like just to prepare some of the ingredients ahead of time so you don't have to sit there and like plan the meal. You know what I mean? But like,
You mean just meal prepping, right? So, for example,
No, she means prepping the ingredients.
what I do is like I'll cook up like a bunch of rice because I eat rice every day.
No, that's not what she means.
Rather than cooking every rice portion from scratch, I'll cook up a bunch of chicken because I eat chicken every day. I will cook up certain things. I'll have certain things ready because I eat them every single day, and I can just go into the fridge and pick them.
No, she means prepping the raw ingredients so that she can just throw them together and the meal's ready to go quicker because she doesn't have to sit there and cut up all the different vegetables and cut up all the different things to put together.
It's meal prepping, yeah.
if I sit here and I have chopped up onions already, I'm more likely to throw those in a pan. If I have that stuff on hand, it just takes a little bit of the workout.
We're talking about chopping up onions, alright. This is like... I feel like if...
So I think in this, Shakara goes a bit overboard with the onions. It's not about the onions, but I'll let her.
She's doing things like, well, I'm not going to cook because I don't have chopped up onions, because I can't be bothered to chop an onion. Are you really that dedicated to your weight loss? Eat your fucking meal without chopped up onions, isn't it? If you really want to lose weight, you'll just make your meal with or without the fucking onions. I'm sorry, but what is this for an excuse? So she's saying she's more likely to fail because she doesn't have chopped up onions ready.
It's not about the onions. She seems she's being really super overly critical. If you like, I'm going to use me for example because B's kind of in the same boat here. Whenever it's like time to have dinner, if you're like, oh wow, I'm really hungry, but I don't want to spend 25 minutes chopping up my bell peppers, cutting up the onion, cutting up the broccoli, cauliflower, whatever. If you have to spend 25 minutes preparing to cook the meal, you're less likely to do it. Just like maybe in the morning when it's time for breakfast for me, if I don't already have like berries or strawberries or something already cut and prepped, I'm less likely to put those on my yogurt or oatmeal or whatever because I have to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes prepping those items. So if you already have the ingredients prepped and ready to go, you're more likely to use them and cook and make those meals if you don't have to spend the 20 and 30 minutes preparing. Whereas if you don't have the things prepped, you're more likely to be like, oh, I'm just going to throw in our microwave dinner or order takeout or get something for takeout instead of preparing that fresh meal because you have to spend so long preparing it.
ahead of time. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And
I
also,
thought she meant literally like bulk cooking up her protein and her carbs.
No, she's talking about just preparing the ingredients so that you can cook the meal quicker instead of having to spend an hour just chopping things or cutting things.
Etc. I didn't think she meant like chopping up onions.
if things
It's not about the fucking onions. It's about all the ingredients. It's not just onions, Alona. Sorry. I just.
are cleaned and cut and ready to go, it just makes you more likely to eat them. I would
Yes.
eventually like
I just
Exactly. If things now, Alona, she's getting ready to say I disagree, but for a lot of us, like me, I do work. I do have a job outside. Well, YouTube is not my job. I have a 9 to 5, and when it comes to dinner time, when I'm done working, I'm more likely to cook a meal if I have stuff already ready to just put together. Most people, I think, are like that. If they have stuff prepped and ready to go, they're more likely to use it instead of having to sit in the fridge and go bad.
agree because like that should make a difference. What's gonna make you more ready to eat them if it's already cooked up and ready to go?
Well, right, but she may not know what she wants to have for dinner each day. You know, if she's like, I have all these ingredients, I have the bell peppers, I have the onions, I have the broccoli, I have the squash, I have the items already all cut up. You know, maybe tonight I'm going to make a pasta and put these vegetables in it. Or maybe this night I'm going to make some chicken and I'm going to stir fry this with it or whatever. So having these ingredients prepped that you can mix and match instead of having the same thing. Plus, she does have Stevie that she also cooks for. So knowing what you can make each day, if you want to cook each day, knowing that you have these ingredients to use could be very helpful.
Cutting up your veggies is not as important as making sure that you've got your protein ready to go when you're hungry, because you still need to cook it then, right? You need to cook up your proteins and your carbs, not your veggies.
to get to the point where I'm at least planning dinners. And then if I like cut bell pepper or chicken or something ahead of time and have it ready to go in the orientation that it is needed for the recipe, then that would be great. But we're just going to do what we can at this point. So let's get to cleaning and prepping.
We can't.
Right.
We're just gonna do what we can at this point. Well, because you're so busy doing what? Unless she's
It's not all about just having the time. It also has to do with the mental energy as well.
gone back to work and I don't know about it, but from what I understand, she
She
doesn't
hasn't.
work. So what else is there to do in your day besides meal prepping?
And if it was something that
Shakara just comes across to me as very condescending with these things. What the fuck else do you have to do? Which for some people, like Amberlynn, I can kind of get it. But it's like B does do other stuff. She does have other things going on in her life. And she has been very open about her mental health struggles.
to stick to, I guess we'll see much. What I just did, I have been chopping
So I've just got through a little B-roll of her chopping. Video is down below if you want to watch it in full.
for hours. Because I have been. It's admittedly a little bit much, what I just did. I don't know necessarily if it's something that I'm going to stick to. I guess
The thing, well, probably not now. What's the point of like chopping up like literally 5 days worth of vegetables and stuff like that? It's also going to get weird. When you cut the vegetable up, it only stays good for like a day or two. Otherwise, it's going to get weird around
You could freeze it.
the edges. So a lot of this, I guess, is going to go into the bin now.
guess we'll see how much time it saves me in the week. And if it was worth the marathon of cutting I just did. Time will tell. But on a side note, when you order your groceries and have someone else shop for you, you're at the mercy of that person's produce picking abilities.
You
And
are.
sometimes you get someone who is like fantastic. Like they know how to pick a
Yeah, this is literally why I don't like to order online, and I never have done. I like to look at the produce myself and touch it and smell it and investigate it.
watermelon, how to pick a
I don't often sniff my produce when I'm shopping and be like,
cantaloupe. You know, they pick everything that's fresh and ready to go. Like they care, you know what I mean? And other times you get someone who seems like they were trying to find the most rotted piece of fruit on the shelf. This person wasn't that bad, but they did make a couple of questionable decisions as far as produce goes. But
sometimes.
And again, why did she not go out herself to do it? She, from what I understand, she doesn't have a job. Why not go out, get some fucking steps in, and do some food shopping?
So, B put in the grocery order before she went to take a shower. And I don't remember how close she lives to the grocery store, but sometimes going to the grocery store can take an hour, 2 hours out of your day. Even if you don't have a job, that's a very large chunk of time. So, at least for this situation, she was able to put in the grocery order, go take a shower, get ready, and then have the groceries delivered whenever she is done and ready. And even I know for myself, sometimes I do have groceries delivered while I'm working because it's like, man, after work, I'm going to have to deal with the traffic from the schools being let out here at the end of my subdivision. I got to go into the store, deal with people, find stuff. Sometimes you just don't have the mental capacity to go to the store and you just don't want to deal with it because either the time it takes, the energy it takes, by the time I'm out running errands, doing all my grocery shopping, when I get back home, I'm less likely to actually use the groceries to cook. And I'm like, you know what? Did my grocery shopping, everything. And I'm just gonna order some delivery or pick up something while I'm out running errands. So sometimes just having the grocery deliveries can help you actually use those groceries and it saves you time in your day. Even if you don't have a job, you still got shit going on.
It's very bizarre to me to like basically be unemployed, upload one video a week, and to not just get your own food shopping.
Beatrice does go to the store herself. But again, B does have anxiety issues periodically. I don't think she's having any right now. At least she didn't mention that being the issue. I think it was just in this video, just to save her time, really, and the energy, because she did help. This may be the next day or the same day, but she did help her mom and stepdad move that freezer. She did work out. It is getting a bit late in the day. So by the time she were to go to the store, get the groceries, get back, it would be even later in the day. So she's able to save that time in the day and then actually do this prep of all the vegetables and stuff and then actually use them to cook. And also, maybe this is just me, but if I have my order put in online and somebody else is shopping for me, I am less likely to buy things I don't need and buy like junk food or things. But I'm like, okay, this is what I need for this recipe. This is what I need for X, Y, and Z. And I'm not going up and down the aisles. I'm less likely to buy things that I don't need or things that I shouldn't probably really be having. Granted, there are no bad foods in my opinion, but maybe things that are a little higher in calories when I'm trying to lose weight that I maybe should not be having much of right now.
I don't know.
That made picking what to have for dinner easy because that broccoli is about to turn bad. So it has to be eaten pretty much immediately. So I am going to make some kind of Asian style like beef and broccoli thing. I used to make it a lot and that recipe got lost. No idea where it went.
You gotta find it and put it in your recipe box.
I think I just like committed it to memory and then didn't revisit it, which is why the recipe box is a good idea. But now I found a recipe that I think is similar. So I'm going to try that one out. And if it ends up tasting like how I remembered, that's going in the box. So many recipes tried and forgotten, lost to the ethers of the internet. I'm honestly not super.
I feel yeah. I bookmark those recipes. I probably should like print them out and make a little binder folder so I don't have to keep trying to find them on my phone.
Hungry because I have been sampling a menagerie of vegetables, like probably a whole salad's worth, because I was kind of.
That's why I don't really use Greg Doucette's cookbook that I have as much because it's a PDF, and I need to just print that sucker out.
Gotta taste them as well, I guess. I don't know. So maybe that's an upside too.
I mean, if she's just like every time she's meal prepping, she's eating the food throughout, then yeah, it's difficult not to. I guess you do have to taste your food sometimes, but how much of it are you tasting? If this is something you're doing a lot and you're not losing weight, maybe this is in general to anybody. If you're doing a lot of tasting when you're cooking, maybe you're like eating without knowing an actual whole meal. So try and avoid the tasting until the very end.
On prep days, volumetric eating.
Looks
Looks
nice.
good.
Looks very
Hello
nice.
and welcome to the office floor.
Right, so I skipped through some of the video because she was talking about some home organizing stuff, and I don't care about that.
But I was like, these are awesome stripy pants. I want them on my body. The whole premise was just to use these as a mini goal, like some.
I do think this is a good idea if you have a weight loss goal, and again, going on fat loss as a goal as opposed to weight loss being a goal. Find some pants, some outfits that are a little bit snug on you or that are too small, and then as you progress through your journey, just try these outfits on. If they fit you, then you're losing weight, or you're losing fat, I should say.
It's good to have something that you can use to physically measure your progress and goal. So having a piece of clothing that you can try on to see, hey, this fits better. I am actually making progress. It makes you feel good.
Though the scale maybe doesn't show so.
Something to aim toward fitting in, But then I was having trouble losing weight, and I never revisited Operation Clown
Well, the reason you were having trouble losing weight is because you wasn't really trying, huh?
You don't know that.
Pants. So you're going to bring Operation Clown Pants back. It's going to be like a little short-term goal. Again, another form of measurement that is not the scale, and also there's like a little reward because I get to wear these awesome pants that probably no one else thinks is awesome. But best believe that if I could slide my snasshole right in there, I am going to be wearing these bad boys all the time. But on that notion, things that I'm going to be trying to do like a little bit more meticulously than the last stint of like on track that I had. I'm going to track my food using my Fitness Pal. I am on an SSR.
Yeah, you do need.
I don't like my Fitness Pal. Because I think everything in there is like user entered and it doesn't seem to be as accurate. When I do track calories, I use the Noom app because that all seems to match what's on my labels and stuff. It seems to be accurate. I am not tracking calories right now because my dietitian doesn't want me to. So, yeah, I just don't care for my Fitness Pal when it comes to that personally.
Definitely track your food, weigh everything out, be consistent with that, be honest with yourself. Yes.
The problem sometimes for some people is they get too caught up in the numbers, which was my problem, and they get just too focused on the numbers, either on the scale or the calories, and it can be more detrimental than good.
And I feel like it has kind of made it a little bit more difficult for me to lose weight. I also have PCOS.
Excuses, PCOS. It makes it harder, not impossible. There's plenty of women with PCOS that lose weight. She's not losing weight because she's not consistent, she's not working out, and she eats off track. That's what it is for the most part.
So I think that is B is not using it as an excuse. She's giving an explanation for why this is more difficult for her. She can lose weight, but when you have these underlying conditions or you're using medication that makes it more difficult, you have to either lower your calories a lot more or work out a lot more. But you have to do things a little more drastically than the average person.
The PCOS thing, it basically, they've done studies, it means that you just need to have a slightly harsher deficit. That's it. So if I need to be on, say, like 2,000 calories to lose weight, if you have PCOS, you need to maybe be on like 1,700.
Right.
You can still lose weight. It's very possible. There's plenty of women that have PCOS that lose weight. To use.
Right. Michelle McDaniel has PCOS. She's a prime example of being able to do it, but she also was into bodybuilding and did shows. And probably was on a super strict diet to do that.
As an excuse is it's an excuse. Medication can make a difference, but usually the body does adapt. So, for example, I had to take some antibiotics a while ago, made me gain a bit of weight, made me hold some water. Within 4 to 5 days, my body regulated, adjusted to it. So, yeah, it can make it harder, not impossible. These are just excuses. At the end of the day, it's all. There's plenty of people that are on all kinds of medications, that have all kinds of health problems, and they still lose weight. It's all about being consistent and sticking to the plan, which she isn't by her own admissions, So.
Right, but B is very honest about that because she just mentioned the last time I was on track. So she goes through stages just like I do, where she's on track, then not on track, and it takes time to get back on track. And B is very honest about that. I also try to be honest about that as well. I haven't been on track for a couple of months. I'm trying to get back on track now. But it's the medication that B is on, she's on mood stabilizers, and I'm going to do a little bit of research and insert it here to see how that affects weight loss. Insert it here. So, yeah.
And like, let's be real, she doesn't have anything else to do in the day besides making some videos, so there is no excuses really.
So I kind of feel like I need to be a little bit more on top of things as far as like actual.
I think B shows us enough of her life to show us that she does have other things going on in her life than just exercising and eating healthy all day. Whereas other people like Amber Lynn don't seem to have much else going on. I think it's a little harsh to be like, what else do you have to do? But we do see what B does. She does work out whenever she isn't injured. She does prepare meals and cook whenever she's on track. And even when she's not on track, she does do a lot of cooking at home because she enjoys it. And she does get Green Chef. So,
knowing like what I'm putting in my body, I need to actually get hydrated. That's like a big thing for me. I do not drink enough water. Like how?
Yeah, water is very important.
Me too, girl. Me too.
You need to drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of water, but
as I'm drinking my 3rd cup of coffee for the day.
At least drink 4 to 5
I had a spare cup sitting here, so when I finish my first one, I could have it.
liters a day, I would say, for most people, especially if you're working out.
How could like anything in my body work, function properly if I'm not hydrating myself? Well, I guess that's it for this one. So I just want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!
Right, well, that's the end of that. We will see how successful she's going to be with this video. I'll be surprised. I feel like, to be honest, I'm going to be honest, my patience is kind of wearing a bit thin with her as well. It could be because I'm prep. Like, I like her content. I like how she...
I think it's because you're in prep and you're just cranky. She has seemed very, very irritable in this video, very cranky, and very harsh. Let me let her finish.
Presents herself. I like that she's on this, etc. But also, let's be real, she's been doing this for a long time. She has a lot of resources at hand. She gets a lot of views. She makes a lot of money doing YouTube. It's her only job. So, like, what's the excuse, really? What is the excuse? Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go into some vegetables. Comment, like, subscribe. Dislike the video if you disliked it. Let me know.
So when it comes to Alona and her opinions on B, she's her opinions and her takes are absolutely her take. But it seems she puts the same... I don't know. She puts her own work ethic and goals onto everybody else. Not everybody is as dedicated as she is. Not everybody can eat cream of rice and chicken and rice and broccoli for every meal for 40 weeks. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody should do that. She has said herself that what she does for bodybuilding is very unhealthy. But it seems like she's trying to apply that to other people. And we just don't work that way, a lot of us. So she seems very critical and thinks everybody should be like her and have her own, her exact same work ethic to be able to go to the gym, work out 3 to 4 times, a day or whatever, or twice a day, whatever it is that she does. And not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the mental energy, physical energy, or time to do that. And she just seems very critical and overly harsh in this video. And compares everybody to everybody else and to her. And she's not looking at the individual situations. And that's evident by her not knowing what's been going on in B's life before this video with the injuries and not being able to work out. And then trying to get back into it. And then not being able to work out again. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know that Alona did struggle with an ED herself whenever she was younger. And she does have that experience. But I think she's just a little overly critical and applies too much of herself into these people whenever not everybody can do those things. Does she have good advice? Absolutely. And I enjoy her videos and her take on things. But I just think when it comes to B, at least in this video, it's a little much. And even her last video on B, whenever B was making her recipe cards, Shakara's like, why are you doing this? Why does it matter? This doesn't help you with anything. But B is a creative person, and she's not working right now. She was a graphic designer, and making those recipe cards was a creative outlet for her, and does help her mental health, and it helps her have those recipes on hand where she can make them whenever she needs to. So I think things like that, it's just like, does it really matter? Why does it matter to you if she's taking time to make a recipe card? If it's something that she enjoys doing and it helps her make the recipes more often, let her make the recipe card. Just because it's not something that you would find helpful or useful doesn't mean it's not helpful or useful to somebody else. Anyway, this is a very long video. We're at almost an hour here. Hopefully I can cut some of this out, but we will see. I do apologize for it being so long, but I hope you all have an amazing day. If you're in the US, happy Thanksgiving this week if I don't see you before then. And until next time, be safe and take care.